Right from the start, the judge looks confused, and for good reason. The person standing before the court isn't even the property owner. Doya Banks introduces herself as an occupant, not the defendant. But what follows is a classic sovereign citizen move, claiming rights through legal jargon that doesn't actually exist.
Do you wish to still proceed without an attorney?
I just want to know, where do you get your powers? Are you an Article
proceed?
3 judge or an Article 6 judge?
Okay, here we go. Court does call the case of the People versus Daniel Magoo.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashley Lottie for the People.
Sir, state your name.
I'm here on a special appearance, Your Honor. Magoo is Easy Elastical Trust, registered in Jackson County, on case number 2522246.
Okay, is your name Daniel Magoo?
Your Honor, that is the name you seek, and it is copyrighted and trademarked.
Okay, very well. Mr. Magoo, are you represented by an attorney, or do you wish to be represented by an attorney on these matters?
I am not.
Do you wish to be?
No. Not at this time.
Let me then do this. You have two cases before this court, one being the case ending, well, let me get the full case number 25F40523. In that case, sir, the complaint does allege that on March 27, 2004,
Studio microphone. This attorney is reading a federal order that exposes what looks like a full-blown scheme. Multiple bankruptcy filings, all to block foreclosure. The language is clear. Delay, hinder, and defraud. That's serious. And it shows how far some people will go to stall an eviction from a luxury home.
committed the offense of operating while intoxicated. Do you understand what you're charged with?
I do not.
You do not understand
There is
that?
no eyewitnesses or corroborating witnesses at all.
I'm not asking whether or not the proofs are there. Do you understand what you are charged with?
I do not.
Do you understand the notion of drunk driving?
I do not understand how I could be charged with something without a
On
witness.
your other cases when you represent yourself, so we'll just do it.
Are you talking about the case that's in federal court right now,
You
Your
are
Honor?
before a complaint in that case for a charge of operating while intoxicated, third offense. Because it's a third offense, that is a felony. It is punishable by up to $500 to $5,000, up 1 to 5 years incarceration. The court can order probation, 30 days to 1 year in jail, or at least 48 hours must be conserved consecutively. The court can also order community service, rehabilitative programs. The court can also order your vehicle immobilized, can order you to pay the cost of the prosecution, as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services.
As I am here and as a trust, Your Honor, I am here in exclusive equity. Exclusive equity.
You count two.
Studio microphone at this point. Even the judge seems stunned. $1 million house. Multiple fake filings. And now a woman who isn't even the owner, claiming to be the rightful tenant. This isn't just about property anymore. It's about abusing the system. Judges hate this pattern because it clogs courts and wastes resources.
He understands English, understands the nature of those charges and what he's charged against.
So malicious prosecution by
wishes
Washington
to
County
represent
prosecutor as
himself.
usual.
Sir?
Studio microphone, now here it comes, the sovereign citizen script. I do not consent to this court's jurisdiction. That's the line they all use. Sounds powerful, but in court it means absolutely nothing. Watch how quickly this judge shuts it down.
There is great peril in representing yourself. You will be held to the same standards as anybody apply or for.
This is a matter under the Eastern District of Michigan Federal Court. Case number 2511226.
We're not represented by counsel. I would further indicate, sir, that at any point during these proceedings, if you wish to be represented by counsel, you can make that request to the court and counsel would be appointed to represent you. Because of the defendant's conduct in the past, in not acknowledging the court and what the court is saying, the court does make the presumption that he does speak English. He understands that. I would further state on the record that Mr. Magoo has been through this process before. He does understand that if he does wish to be represented by counsel, the court would give him counsel or would have counsel appointed to represent him in this matter. in the case 25F30979, in that case, sir, you are before a complaint that alleges that on or about July 3rd of 2025, count 1 is fleeing and eluding fourth degree.
Added on by the prosecutor's office after the
Sir,
fact.
that is a felony, punishable by up
Malicious
to 2 years
prosecution.
incarceration and a $2,000 fine plus court costs, mandatory suspension by the Secretary of State.
My Secretary of
2
State, anything
is
is canceled. I have no contracts with the state of
vehicle.
Michigan.
That is a misdemeanor
This
charge.
is a matter of trust, Your Honor. This is a matter of trust. I am protected
to
under a
90
trust.
days in jail, a $100 fine plus court cost. Count 3 on that complaint alleges operating a motor vehicle without security. That is a misdemeanor, not punishable by not more than 1 year incarceration and not less than $200 nor $500 fine plus court cost. Count 4 is operating while licensed, suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor.
All of my registrations are through the federal government. I have federal government registration. I do not have contracts with the
Vehicle could
state.
be subject to mobilization. Count 5 on that complaint alleges refusal to obey
I have an international driver's
police
permit.
officer. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court cost. I would indicate to the defendant the same admonishments regarding the perils in representing oneself that I stated in the other case also apply to this case.
Were you served your notice and summons yet, Your Honor?
Wishes to have counsel appointed, the court would consider or would appoint counsel to represent him in this matter, and he apparently wishes to proceed.
Were you served your notice
Having
and summons
notice
for federal
of
court?
the charges, sir, do you wish to still proceed without an attorney?
I just want to know.
Studio microphone. When Doya realizes that didn't work, she panics, literally trying to recant her own objection. It's almost comical. You can feel the tension. She thought she had a magic legal spell, but it just blew up in her face.
Where do you get
Do
your
you
powers?
wish
Are
to
you an Article
proceed?
3 judge or an Article 6 judge? Where are
Do
your
you
vested
wish to
powers? Can you
proceed
answer
without
that?
an attorney?
You can't even answer.
Look it up.
The judge's patience is remarkable here. She keeps trying to explain that if Doya isn't a named party, she can't even argue. But that's the irony. Sovereign citizens want to reject the system, yet use it when it suits them.
Is the court completed the arraignment for the record at this time?
Well, he had been arraigned. I was just admonishing him of the perils of representing himself, and that it requires in part that I let him know what he is charged with, and I've read them kind of in fully, more so than I would have, because he refuses to acknowledge those. So I am satisfied that he now knows all of the charges that are against him.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people would like to be heard on bond when appropriate.
All right. What do we want to set this for? Do you wish to have a preliminary examination, sir?
This is a
Here's the final hammer. $15,000 per month just to appeal. That's the judge's way of saying if you really want to keep fighting, it's going to cost you. This is how courts discourage endless frivolous filings.
matter of a federal matter now, Your Honor, under case number 2511226, under the Eastern District of Michigan, under the Honorable Mark A. Goldsmith and Magistrate Judge David R. Grand. There is no proceeding here, Your Honor.
There is no proceeding. Oh, there's a proceeding.
Well, malicious prosecution is what the proceeding is.
Okay, very good. Do you wish to have a preliminary examination?
There's no proceeding, Your Honor. This is a matter that should be stayed and
What is
dismissed.
people's position on whether or not we should set this for a preliminary examination or adjourn the probable cause?
Your Honor, I don't know if the defendant has received all discovery in this matter as he is representing himself, so I would request a probable cause date, potentially.
Because you've got to send it.
Yeah, and who restricted my phone
Probable
calls?
cause conference. You know what? You're going to have to stop interrupting. I will give you an opportunity. You've been before me before. I will give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say, but I'm not going to have you interrupt me, and I'm not going to have you interrupt the people when they're talking. As long as you were saying.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have to there's video evidence in addition to the paper discovery. I've got to make arrangements with Lieutenant Arnett to work on that, so it may take just a bit longer. It does appear that he has been set with a $10,000 bond in 25F30979 as well as 25 L40523, each $10,000.
Yes.
Your Honor, I do think it's important that the court have some additional information, and I would ask the court to revisit the issue of bond. First and foremost, I think it's important the court know that the facts alleged in the newest case, the 25 F30979, it does include the fact that the Michigan State trooper who pulled the defendant over noted in his police report that the defendant had a license on his vehicle that indicated he was a diplomat and that he refused to identify himself. He refused for quite a bit of time. Additional units had to be brought to the scene from the sheriff's department in order to, for lack of a better term, deal with the situation. And ultimately, they were able to identify him as the defendant, Daniel Magoo. The concern with that goes along with the other case, which is an OWI. It is charged as a third. I will note that it is a true fourth, to the best of my understanding. So there does appear to be an alcohol problem going on. And I also think it's important for this court to know, because I don't know that the court knows, the defendant has a third new case, telecommunications malicious use with.
And even after losing, Doya still argues about the rent. At this point, the judge doesn't even engage. It's over. Another sovereign citizen theory destroyed by simple, grounded law.
Canton case that they're trying to stick me for a driving unlicensed suspended citation in which that I have an international driver's permit, making it also void. All of my matters, including the vehicle that I'm registered under, are registered to the federal government, not the state, under the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. All of these charges are frivolous and a part of a long pattern of malicious prosecution by Ms. Londy, the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office, and quite frankly, you, Your Honor.
Hearing argument regarding bond, the court does believe that it was an abuse of discretion given the circumstances of this defendant to set his bond at the $10,000 figure. After hearing argument, viewing the file, the court does believe that not only does the defendant pose a risk to the public,
No
I
victims.
do believe that the defendant is a risk of flight given those circumstances, and has indeed, or at least is charged in this case, refused to obey or fled and eluded.
That was added on afterwards.
Sure. Thank you.
The tethers I requested, if he is able to post, Your Honor.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. If everybody doesn't mind, the court's going to take a very brief recess, and then I will come back and we will finish them.
All right.
Cases like this show how misinformation turns into real-world chaos. What started as a foreclosure became a tangle of fake filings, legal myths, and wasted time. Always remember, the courtroom runs on facts, not fantasies. What's your take? Should courts start cracking down harder on these fraud-based tactics?